Thank you so much for meeting with me, Coach. Um, you've had a successful career in basketball, coach, broadcaster, all different levels. What brought you back to your roots in SoCal? You know, you're from Riverside, coming back to coach for Cal State LA. What made you want to come back here?
Man, that's a loaded question. I think the main thing was I knew that I wouldn't be able to broadcast forever. So I'm a realist in that sense. And I wanted to come back and get back to women's basketball and coach. So truthfully, I thought it would be so easy, come in, get a D1 job, make millions and everything else, and it didn't happen like that. So I ended up in Langston for 2 years at an NAIA, and then I got my opportunity to come back home for Cal State LA, and that's my story.
That's awesome. So you've been involved, like you said, so many different levels. What you said the broadcasting, you understood broadcasting wasn't going to last forever. What was it about coaching that made you want to come back to this this level of the game?
I think it's just how I was raised. You know, you want to pay back and pay forward. And women's basketball has given me so much, from a first-rate education at USC, being able to travel the world with USA Basketball, the Olympics in my backyard in '84, and meet so many terrific people. So I just wanted to give women's basketball something back that they gave me, and the young ladies, to let them know that if I'm able to do it, anyone's able to do it.
Exactly. So you said that, you know, the young women giving back. How have you been able to, you know, relate to these players in a way, because you know you played at the highest level? Do you think that your girls understand the concept of just who you are and just kind of what you've accomplished? And even if they don't, do you kind of like that, the fact that they see you more as coach? And
I don't think I think they're starting to get it, but no, and that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing. But it's funny when we travel and we're in the airports, I'm always signing autographs and people coming up, and I remember this, Cheryl, and they stand back and they look coming out of Starbucks like,
because they're probably like, it's just Coach Miller.
Like, who are you? You know, but it's a great thing. But the one thing that I learned, and I've never done as a coach from SC, coaching the WNBA to now, is I never tell the players, well, when I was a player, because I don't think that's fair. I played with so many terrific players and blessed with so many great coaches that the last thing I want to do is try to put up a barrier or a bar or standard that's not fair for them. So I let them be them.
Now, like you said, you played in an era with so many amazing women. How do you feel like the women's game has evolved? And I'm sure, you know, as a player, as a woman, you know, I feel it's kind of unfair the way that women's basketball gets treated. I feel like it sometimes gets put a little on the back burner to the men's side. What do you think would change that?
Well, if you think that women's basketball today is on the back burner, imagine it 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I think it's evolving. I think the players are getting better and better. I think visibility is better. Social media certainly has helped, and that will continue. I think the more parity you have at every level, from NAIA, from Division I, Division II, Division III, JUCO, I think the greater parity really creates an atmosphere, and not only that, a pool of great players that everyone can invest in. And I think that's going to push women's basketball to the forefront.
With this current group you have, the Cal State LA women, what are some of the things you're most proud of this group?
I've never had, how do I describe my team? They are affable. Like affable, like get along.
Wow.
Like truly like each other. Because you know there's always, you know, you got this group, but they enjoy each other's company on and off the court. Where I'm trying to get them to and to understand is it's great to have that camaraderie, but you have to bump up that aggression level, and you have to understand that. And I try to put it in terms of boxing. Like if you're in a boxing ring, you're gonna get punched. It's how you respond to being punched. And so we've been punched a couple times, and we're like holding our noses in our jaw. I need them to be a little more aggressive and fight back, and that's just having so many freshmen on the team. But eventually, they'll get it.
So do you think that you're trying to establish a culture of, you want that camaraderie. Every team, every
Yeah.
team wants that chemistry, but to have that chemistry and yet still have that edge, still, I want to beat you. I'm going to make you better because
Right.
I'm better.
Well, and thank you for saying that, because I think most women don't understand, and I shouldn't say just women, but men and teams in general. Iron sharpens iron.
Exactly.
And the only way I'm going to get better is if I come at you and you come at me.
Give your best.
Exactly, because if I can beat you, then my opponent, I stand a better chance of beating. And so we're, like you said, changing that culture, understanding that if you have that mentality in practice, it doesn't mean you're being mean-spirited. It means you care about your teammate enough to make them better.
Do you feel like that's something you've had to really instill with this group, or
Still instilling.
instill?
Still
Work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. So obviously, people come up to you, they know Cheryl Miller. What's something that most people would not expect, like a certain hobby, something that you're into that most people wouldn't necessarily know about you?
Wow. I love to read. I love to read. The last book I read was, what's her name? It's Battlefield of the Mind, Joyce Meyer, which a deep religious type of thing. And the other one was Heather Graham, and it was called The Seance. And I'm a scary person, but I love scary movies, scary books, and everything else. And I think personally, which a lot of people don't realize, is how incredibly shy I am.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Do not like crowds. Television and everything else, it allowed me to have this personality, but it cracks my players up, and my coaches are like, you are really shy. I'm like, yeah, so.
Wow. So, final question. When it's all said and done,
Yes.
what do you want people to remember about Cheryl Miller outside of basketball, completely unrelated to basketball? What do you want them to remember about Cheryl Miller, the person? Because I think that's so important that sometimes, when you see athletes, they're human beings. They're people. Right. They have feelings. They have families. They go through things.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we kind of put people on this pedestal and act like they don't have anything else going on.
This is who they are. This is who they are.
You only know one facet about them.
Absolutely.
You don't know who they truly are.
Right. Incredibly giving, incredibly loving, soft-spoken, give the shirt off her back, approachable, and absolutely goofy. Absolutely goofy.
Wow. Thank you so much.
You are awesome.
Thank you so much.
You have such a tremendous future. Go after it.
Thank you so much. Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, that was amazing.
I appreciate it so much.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
We are great.